What's up, everybody? Welcome along to the very first podcast of
The
The
Rentals.
Rentals. He's the daddy.
She's the mummy. Let's roll the intro.
You parents just don't understand.
You're amazing, sound man.
I know it.
Thanks
I
for
know
that.
it. Hey, can we give a shout out to our sponsor here? I know you've heard of Beats by Dre, but have you heard of Meats by Mray? My girl always come with their fire.
It gets better.
Hey, plug that in.
Sorry. It's plugged in. What's up, everybody? I'm Audrey. I am one half of the Rentals podcast. We're really excited to be sharing with you our very first podcast today. We've been cooking this one up for a little bit. It's been something we've been wanting to do and share for quite some time. So we finally got into it. And as you can see, we have the finest of utensils here to go along with what we're cooking up in the kitchen.
Can you leave the jokes to me, please?
As you can tell,
Always trying to outshine our brother.
I'm the comedian of this partnership. But so we have we wanted to start this podcast to share basically our life's journey for a few important reasons. So we have one big girl, we have 4 young boys, and one on the way. And we have 2 of our boys who are on the autism spectrum. We are a Kiwi Polynesian family, nice mix from Hamilton, New Zealand. And we feel what we have to share may connect with other families out there, or for those of you who don't know anyone on the autism spectrum, may give you a bit of insight or understanding into that life. Right, baby?
Right. It's not an easy life, but it's something that we love, and we just think it's a great idea for us to be able to share some of the things and our experiences that we might go through, so we might be able to help some other people. But yeah,
I think in particular too, because we have boys on the spectrum and boys not on the spectrum, and if there's a fine, I don't like to use the word balance, but there's a fine line of how we can support both of our sets of sons who are on the spectrum and not on the spectrum, and sharing, just sharing the journey, sharing the struggle, sharing the challenges, sharing the absolute joys that come along with it. Because to be honest, it is a really, it's a really hard life. We're pretty, I'm gonna take this off actually. Oh no, I'll leave it on.
you got to keep the Meats by Dre sponsorship.
By Dre.
Do you want to lose our sponsor?
Wouldn't want to lose that. Thank you, Time Zone. There are constant tears, mainly from me. Constant phone calls to Kelly at work, and our sons that don't have autism also bear the brunt of a lot of the typical behaviours and situations and circumstances that come.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy for those boys. If I can start off, if I can kick us off by just introducing our kids. We have a beautiful 23-year-old
24,
plus 1 year daughter in Australia, and her grandson and her wonderful husband. And I just want to send love out to them. Love to you. Love to you. We have our big boy, which is Vandross here. And he's 8 years old. And he is homeschooled. And he's a great kid. He's an amazing boy. And we'll bring him on and we'll let him share a few things. Earlier today, he jumped on and we did a few other things. And we'll share those things with you a little later.
I think the thing to know about our big boy is that he is our number one when it comes to support, help, literally. As an oldest son typically has to take on anyway, but his brother that is next in line, who is Aikau, who's number 2, is 6 years old and on the autism spectrum, and they are only 18 months apart. And so for him, you know, when you typically have a sibling close in age, you're typically quite close, or, you know, you can talk to each other. But our boy Aiko is currently nonverbal, so he doesn't use any words. And, you know, that's been
He can say a few words.
He can say a few words, but, you know, he can't typically engage in a conversation with his brother. They can't get cheeky to each other, or
they don't have a typical as the world would know it, brotherly.
The calling of names is only one way.
They do have some good fights though. I got to give them
scraps,
that. They have some good scraps.
But also, when it comes down to it, if anyone outside of the family is hurting or doing something to the other one, they're ready to pounce. They look after each other. Yeah. So that's our Aiki boy. He 6 years old, been on the autism spectrum now, was diagnosed when he was 2 years old.
Yep.
So we were able to do lots of early intervention for him, and he is at an amazing school that supports him, and one of the main goals for them is to help the child be as independent as possible.
Yep.
So
that's Aiki. Well, that's what we call him, Aiki, or or Bubby is another nickname for him. Next in line, we have our boy Rocky, aka his real name is Rockwell, and he is all attitude, that young man. He is 5 years old. He has he's had a little lung thing. I forget what the name of the infection was, but
it's turned out to be bronchiectasis. So.
I knew, bronchiectasis, and yeah, it affected our little boy when he was young, and it still affects him to this day. So he's like 5 years old, but his little 2-year-old brother is about the same size, and they share clothes. So his growth got stunted, and I like to call him Webster. If some of you remember that TV show from back in the 80s. I don't know if my wifey does, but
I was born in the 80s, let me tell you that.
Born in the 80s. She was. And that's why I wear my sunnies, so that everyone can't see my old ass eyes. But yeah, this is our boy Rockwell. He's all ticker. He won't take a backward step to anyone. He's small, as you can see by the photo.
He's all attitude.
Yeah, he's all attitude, but he's a
wrap
lovely
you
little
around
boy.
his little finger though.
Yeah.
He'll have you.
Got his mum wrapped around his finger, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, me. Who sleeps with who every night?
I don't know who.
Yeah, Rockwell is very possessive of his father. You are mine.
That's what he likes to think.
That's what he does. And he doesn't call him Dad. He calls him Uncle Cowie.
He calls me Uncle Cowie.
Previous to that, it was Iron Man. But I've always been Mum.
Yeah.
Oh, Mum. Okay, so moving on from our Rocky boy, we've got our baby, Manti, obviously, who I'm holding in the picture back there. And he is our second son that has recently been officially diagnosed on the autism spectrum. About almost 4 weeks ago, he got the official diagnosis. But we've known for quite some time now, probably for about a year.
Yeah, I think we're not experts on autism. We obviously are still new to it because we only have our son. We've only had him for 6 years, so I know there's a lot of people who have grown kids and that sort of thing, but
yeah.
I sort of could tell, like, he wasn't developing the same as the other two boys. Like, the other two boys were, like, saying their words and all that sort of thing around one, but, yeah, he
or
didn't.
Engaging.
Yeah, engaging. Eye contact.
I think you brought up a good point there. Just a disclaimer. We do not claim at all to be experts on autism. We recognise and acknowledge that this is actually our version and our experience with autism. And there's a saying that I think is so true, that just because you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism.
That's it.
Everyone's different. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy of it too. You know, not one person is the exact same. So even though we have two on the spectrum, they are the same but very different.
Yeah. And not all headphones are the same. Some are Beats by Dre and some are just nice, good, clean.
No branded ones either.
Yeah. So this is our boy. This is our baby Manti.
Meantime.
And you know, call us crazy or what? Like, we have another one on the way. And but I don't know if this is coincidence or anything, but you know, the two boys that are on the spectrum are both born in November, and we have another boy who is going to be expected in November. I don't know.
And then the other two who are not on the spectrum are both born in April.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe it's that summer loving. I don't know.
I don't know. It's not even around Valentine's Day, or is it?
No, it's summer. Summertime. This girl just, she must peep me at the sun's hitting me at the right angle, glistening off me.
Well, I'm going to put a poll up underneath if you could just in the comments say whether you think Kelly should get the snip or not, because
I've got to be honest with you, babe.
when I got pregnant this time around...
Hold up. I don't even remember actually making the deal.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Do you want to take your glasses off so that people can see into your eyes when you're saying that?
No.
You're really going to lie about...
You want to know my reasoning why I don't want to get the snip? That's because that's just like... That's a primal thing that's stripping me of my manlyhood.
Is your primal thing done? Are you done?
I'm done. I'm not going to have any more babies. I'm 49 years old and I'm expecting a baby in November. 49 years old.
Side note, when I met Kelly, his famous line to me was, my grandfather sired his last child at 79.
Not my grandfather, my
your great-grandfather.
Something
along those lines.
But we are
so
very virile men in my family. Very virile.
Very. So, basically we just want to share our life's journey, especially through the lens of having autism in our family. We want to share our challenges, our growth, our experiences, our journey, and in the hope that maybe we can help other people out there feel connected, feel like you're not alone, or gain some understanding and perspective around family life and autism. And we do lots. We're trying actually.
Yeah.
We're trying, but we've gone through a process of no, we're just not going to go anywhere. It's just easier to stay home with the kids.
Which it is.
It is way easier, and not get any weird stares or like the other week in the supermarket. We're so oblivious to, obviously children with autism, if they're not speaking words and jibber jabbering a million miles a minute, they're making lots of sounds. So our boys make lots of sounds.
They still make,
and it can be quite shrill. But we're just immune to it now because that's our normal, right?
Yeah.
That's our life. But in the supermarket the other day, I saw Kelly was ahead of me with Aiko, and Aiko was just excited and expressed his excitement by being very vocal and making some shrill sounds. And this old white guy just turned around and was like, whoa. And I saw Kelly's face was like, what's the matter with you? Got a problem?
You right? Are you
right?
okay?
Are you offended by that?
You okay, mate? Like, tell me, and I'll say this, like, prior to having a son with thing, I mean, like, I have an auntie who had like some kind of special needs as well, and so I guess I was exposed to it at a younger age. So, and I was a little bit more used to it. But now, when I see people in the supermarket and their kids are having meltdowns and that sort of thing.
Yeah, or we can clearly see that maybe they might have autism too, because it is more and more common.
Especially coming from a brown family, culturally, we're like, oh, your kids need to be quiet or they just need a good,
Yeah.
But that our whole perspective has changed on that.
We're still unpacking and unlearning a whole lot of viewpoints.
Yeah. And these are some of the things that we're going to cover in the podcast. I mean, with that whole cultural thing, we've had a few experiences going different places to different family functions and that sort of thing where it's been quite awkward and been quite challenging for us to be able to even going to church and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Things can be challenging, but these are all little things that we want to cover in the
Oh, and just share,
Yeah.
definitely cover
Yeah.
and share all aspects of our life, and especially we'll have our boys on to share their perspective too, because siblings of kids with autism, it affects the whole family,
It
right?
does.
For better or for worse, it affects the whole family.
Oh, it affects it. Oh,
And,
mate, I am sleepy.
Yeah. There's sleep deprivation,
Yeah.
there's complete exhaustion, there's frustration.
Cooking 2 meals, sometimes 3 different
food
meals.
challenges.
Would you have it any other way?
I wouldn't have it any other way. I was actually fortunate a few weeks ago to, my friend has a blog and she asked me to share our story, and it was actually quite therapeutic to write out parts of our story and what autism has done for us. And in regards to our boys who can't speak or can't use their words right now, it can be very frustrating because it's very physical at times, it's very aggressive, unpredictable, uncertain, as to. So if you were to come into our home, you'll notice we have the bare essentials, and that's purely a safety precaution, because with our first son who had autism, anything that could be picked up
And thrown?
would be picked up and thrown or used. And it's pure frustration at not being able to communicate. And
What was the thing you say about the tape and that sort of
oh
thing?
yeah, so that's what I was going to say is even in the moments where it's extremely, extremely frustrating for me, I know it's even harder for my children, for my sons, because it's like they've got duct tape across their mouth and they're screaming and pleading for someone to hear them or understand them, but no one can. And if you can imagine that frustration, that would, I think of that every time. It's very hard for me with them. And that's through tears, that's through extreme crying on my behalf, because I still don't know what I'm doing.
She is
we're
a crier.
just learning.
She is a crier, so
yeah.
be
But
prepared.
well, especially when it comes to my kids or my husband, because they mean everything to me. And I think one thing that's really magic for our family lifestyle is that we are a team. Kelly and I are a team. Genuinely, because that's what you are when you're in a partnership and you have a family, but especially trying to navigate our way through life with our children and with autism. Support is a necessity. So I'm lucky I have a supportive husband, and we have very supportive family members and network of friends who are close to us, who know and understand.
Yeah.
From what they can see, because actually what's interesting is we came to find out that no one actually knows.
No one. Actually, we have a couple of friends.
Unless you live with it,
Yeah.
right? And so even my mum, we were living with her for a few months, and even though she kind of knew life was a bit crazy for us beforehand, it wasn't until we lived with her and they saw what we had to deal with each and every day, that they got a bit more understanding around, okay, yeah, this is quite intense.
It is. It is.
It
It's
is intense.
It's not easy, like we could easily not have any friends or not go anywhere.
We're very blessed.
Yeah, we are.
We have great friends. We have great family.
Yeah.
And we are learning. So now we do venture out more with our kids, whereas before it's like, okay, half go and half stay home, just because we would save a whole lot of drama.
Yeah. Now it's like, sometimes we do. Sometimes we make that choice. But for the most part, we're like, frick it, let's go.
Yeah.
We're out there, and if people don't like it, then too bad. I actually have grown, I thought I had no filter before.
Those of
now,
you who know Kelly.
Whoa.
No.
I have no filter at all now. Like, I could tell someone, like, I've got no filter when it comes to, like, anyone saying anything bad about children with autism or
or anyone that's different.
Anyone.
So something that has been a huge thing that I'm really glad that I've been able to learn throughout this is that there is no such thing as normal. So even the words that we use to describe our situation or our son, we're all pretty quirky, weird, have our own little interesting...
Especially her family.
Oh, we're going to go about
No. Hey,
now.
fam, I love you all. I love yous. Hey,
We're not going to mention any last names.
No, we're not going to mention any last names, especially, hey, my family is worky as all heck. I'm telling you right now.
But you know, what is normal?
What is normal?
What really is normal, right? And so, also everyone is special.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like to use the term special needs for my two sons who are on the spectrum, because my other two sons who aren't on the spectrum, they're special too. So we just have different needs, right? They have different needs and different abilities. And those are lots of things that we are learning and unlearning and trying to implement, because I would never want my sons who aren't on the spectrum to ever feel like they're anything less or that they're not special either. And that's what we're trying to navigate through as well. Like, we're going to say right now we don't have it all together. Not at all. In fact, most
but together
of the time,
we have it all.
There you go. Thank you.
Did a brother get a word in? I mean, come on.
Well, normally, let's be real. You only like to pipe in when you like to pipe in.
Oh, hey.
Right?
But hey, we've got some real great content coming up. We've got some real great people who we're going to speak to. Hey, if it's something that you're down with, or something that interests you, or something that might be able to help you, holla, you know. Hit the like and subscribe button. I've always wanted to say that. My kids say it all the time on their videos, you know.
Our 5-year-old son.
He goes, what does he say?
Like and subscribe.
Like
push
and
the
subscribe.
Notifications.
Mash that red button, y'all.
Yeah, our kids love watching YouTube videos, so this is a dream come true for them.
But, yeah. So, that's about it from us. We are the Rentals. She's the mummy.
He's the daddy.
We out.